Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on the Ghibli film Ponyo. Now as you know, Ponyo, or as it's known as in Japan, Ponyo on the Cliff by the Sea, is a 2008 animated fantasy film that was written and directed by Haro Mashiki, as well as being the 8th film in the Ghibli film series. And surprising enough, I never really watched this film until now. I remember reading a manga book at this back in 2010 at Waterstones, and even sort of remember seeing some of the DVDs and Blu-rays. Now, the premise of the film is meant to feature Ponyo, who with her original name Brunhilde, ends up kind of slipping away and sneaks off on the back of a jellyfish, and of course ends up in a kind of like fishing town which is known as Notomo Noria, and of course ends up meeting a young boy known as Sosuke. Now Sosuke's character is that he's going to be this young kid, kind of this one who's good at heart, and you can kind of tell right away Sosuke and Ponyo become inseparable. And you can kind of tell Sosuke does kind of see a lot of things in Ponyo and does kind of want to become its friend. But of course we see how Ponyo ends up back at the sea and ends up wanting to be a human. So of course we kind of see how Fujimoto doesn't want this to happen. And of course, much like a child, ends up slipping away back into the surface, of course leading to an all-out kind of problem which disturbs the balance of nature. And we kind of see how Ponyo slowly becomes human, and how Sosuke is kind of roped into an adventure to help Ponyo become human, as well as showing her the things used to human life. And I would say the story has a simple message about what if you wanted to be something more than just this one thing, and what if you wanted to sort of be something else. And I think it really works well. And I would say at the same time the story has a kind of slice of life story. I feel when you have Sosuke and his mum Lisa and Ponyo together at the house during the floodings, it kind of hits close to home, more like similar to what happened with the COVID-19 things in lockdown, having meals, joking around, watching movies. It really hits close to home. And I also feel at the same time there was room for some improvement. I kind of feel you could have had it that Sosuke having a grandfather from Lisa's side who was an old ship captain. You could have had him telling his stories about his adventures, and that could have set Sosuke on wanting to become something like his dad. And you could even have had Sosuke's grandfather going along with Ponyo and Sosuke on the adventure. And it could have even have had it revealed that he was once shipmates with Ponyo's father when he was still human, and have it that he comes to sort of understand more about the sea life. This would be a greater build-up and a great well-done story. And I think for the most parts I would say the story isn't too bad. It has this slice of life atmosphere. It's not really going over the top with the plot, and really tries to give you this kind of day in the life story of how people deal with, say, snowstorms, floods, and see how people kind of respond to it. And I feel at the end they do cop out a little bit. I think at the same time you could have had it shown clips of Ponyo going to school, having her first birthday on the surface, and her sort of going camping. It would have shown more time to sort of know what happened afterwards. I feel, yeah, there is a lot of comparisons with the Pixar film Luca, but keep in mind Disney have known to rip off ideas from other media. I wouldn't be surprised if people have made the comparisons quite well. So I think to me, Ponyo is a simple, well done slice of life story. And much like Whisper from the Heart, much like from Up on Pompey Hill, it's a slice of life story that has a few mystical themes. So I think it deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.